dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
A sudden strong storm Wednesday left behind a path of damage not seen often in downtown Pineville.
And I'd never seen anything like that. The wind pick a sign up off of the building that was nailed down. The only time I've ever seen anything that bad was in '77 during the flood.
Jonna Gray is not the only one surprised by the winds.
It really thought it was a tornado. I mean, the wind, the rain, it was downpouring, but it was at such a hard angle.
Sean Fugit owns the Pineville Pawn Shop. He was in his pawn shop during the storm.
We were in the back of the store. We came up to see what happened, and one of the flagpoles that were across the street had fell, and then we heard a crash.
That crash was about a 60-foot piece of tin roof from the pawn shop. While Fugit says the storm only lasted a matter of minutes, when it stopped, the first thought was to see if the roof had hit anyone.
Stuff can be replaced, but people, it was a very fortunate and blessed that nothing did happen that bad.
Fugit says thankfully, no one was injured. In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Fugit says he does not know what the cost to repair the roof will be. An escaped inmate from Rockcastle County is back behind bars tonight. Joseph Morris went on the run late last week, and here he is. Police say they found him in an abandoned camper. He went on the run while cutting grass in the Red Hill community. Morris is in the Rockcastle County Detention Center.
Well, so far it's been an absolutely beautiful day here in the mountains. Most of us getting a break from those rain chances finally. We'll go ahead and take a look at a few of those cameras as we look up into top of Buffalo Mountain and Perry County. A few clouds, but those mostly sunny skies and those beautiful blue skies as well. Looking over to Jackson, dealing with a few clouds over there, but mostly sunny skies. Temperatures right around 86 degrees. But check out the dew point of 71, making it feel like those lower 90s out there. And as we take a look at those temperatures, all of us into about the upper 80s to even lower 90s, getting a 90s in Hazard, Monticello, Richmond, Danville, and even over into parts of Louisville as well. And check out the feels like temperature, feeling like the lower 90s for really all of the mountains, even feeling like the upper 90s. You're looking out into parts of Louisville. As we look at satellite and radar, you'll see those pop-up showers and storms all around us, but for most of us, we have remained on the drier side, a little bubble over parts of the mountains today. And as we look at pinpoint Doppler, a few rain chances. You see very small over into parts of Pulaski County, even down into McCreary County, a little bit over into parts of West Virginia as well. But overall, we have remained dry. We're still going to hang on to the chance of a few pop-up showers and storms as we head into the rest of those evening hours. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Macy.
All right, thank you, Paige. A Montgomery County family is looking for answers after their pet alpaca was shot in their front yard. The alpaca, named Ringo, had been with the family a few months. Lori Coffey said that they got him after a friend bought him back from a cattle sale and did not have a place to put him. She says he was friendly and would even pose for pictures when people stopped in front of their home on Spencer Road. On Tuesday, her husband heard a shot and then found Ringo's body next to the fence.
I think it's heinous. I mean, it really is. Whoever, I can't imagine how a person can take down an innocent animal.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is investigating and asked anyone with information to call them. They say the person responsible could face charges for killing livestock, as well for firing a gun close to that home. A woman is dead after being hit by a train in Hardsburg. The accident happened before 5 this morning near West Factory Street. Officials say the woman could not get off the train tracks in time and was hit. Norfolk Southern released a statement this morning saying in part, quote, people should cross tracks only at designated crossings and use extreme caution at all times. People from the area say they've seen accidents with trains in the area before. 7 people are dead after a helicopter crash in the Bahamas. The helicopter had just left Grand Cay Island and was heading to Fort Lauderdale. Officials say all of the victims are Americans. They include billionaire coal executive Chris Klein from West Virginia. Klein was a graduate of Marshall University. His daughter also died in that crash. President Trump is promising an executive order intended to lower drug prices. He says his administration will announce a favored nations clause. It would make sure that the U.S. government pays for drugs and will not be higher than the lowest price paid by other nations or companies. Prices in other countries are often lower because governments directly negotiate with manufacturers. If you plan to spend your weekend on the water, you may be seeing more law enforcement out patrolling, and that's thanks to the Operation Dry Water campaign. Since 2009, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, along with other agencies, have been accredited for over 3,500 boating under the influence charges. During the campaign, Adam Bernstein tells us how they plan to ensure the safety of boaters.
According to Paul Barnes, the owner of Chimney Rock Marina, this weekend is his busiest of the year, with roughly 100 boats being launched from his ramp alone on a typical day. But he says this year's business is expected to even be higher due to the completion of the Kennedy Bridge.
It wasn't supposed to open until November this year, but the bridge is open now, and we get business from both sides of the lake, and business has been great so far.
Because many lakes and rivers are going to be so busy, there is expected to be an increased law enforcement presence out on the water. And earlier this year, a new law was signed, giving conservation officers added authority to crack down on boating under the influence.
If there's a accident that is included personal injury or property damage, if we are not present but show up at the time, if we determine the operator of the boat was under the influence, we could go ahead and make the arrest on that. That's enough probable cause.
And along with looking out for impaired boaters, officers say they'll also be checking for other safety requirements.
Making sure that anybody under the age of 12 has a life jacket on at all times. Make sure you have a proper working fire extinguisher. Make sure you have enough life jackets for everybody on board the boat.
At Harrington Lake, Adam Bernstein, WYMT Mountain News.
A person arrested for boating under the influence may be subject to 24 hours of detention for their first offense and 48 hours for a second offense. It may not be the 4th of July, but the Independence Day celebrations, well, they're not over just yet. Elkhorn City will host its annual fireworks show tonight. Mayor Mike Taylor says the event will likely bring out hundreds of people to enjoy fun, food, music, and much more. He said the Elkhorn City Volunteer Fire Department has been hard at work preparing for tonight.
Our fire department really does good. They really put on a good show. You know, I see they're over here right now getting ready for it tonight, and I'm really proud of our fire department, you know, being volunteers. They put a lot of time into this.
RFG Society Coffee Shop will host live music tonight at 8, and fireworks are scheduled for 9 p.m. A big weekend for soccer fans here in the States. The United States women's national team will take their shot in the World Cup finals. The game kicks off at 10 a.m. on Sunday. The defending champions will take on the Netherlands. Only once in the history of the Women's World Cup has a team repeated as champions. Germany did that in 2003 and 2007. This will mark the Netherlands' first championship match and only their second appearance in the tournament. And still to come on Mountain News at 5:30. When you think about Alaska, well, you probably think about all that cold snow, but this summer it's a heat wave taking over the state known as the Last Frontier.
I know a lot of you want to get out this weekend, whether it's on the boat, maybe to go fishing. Well, we're going to bring back those scattered showers and storms. Might not be the best, but good news is we'll start to clear out as we head into the work week. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
It's hot outside, but the deals here are hotter. I'm at the Highway 52 50-mile yard sale, and I'll have more coming up here on WYMT.